Welcome back to Rise and Shine with Morning Moon. Happy Monday, everyone. It is the second Monday of the year, and I hope your year is shaping up right. If you haven't already, please be sure to hit the subscribe button and share this with your friends if you feel so inclined. That way, you are always notified when we are live or have a new upload. So this week is heavy for me, and it's been a little difficult for me to show up today, but I made a commitment that I would show up every Monday, and I am making that happen. Um and today I want to talk about what happens when things don't go as you expect and what we can do to make sure that we are still working towards our goals and our aspirations, but also taking care of ourselves in moments of chaos. Um, I had a particularly uh, distressing and chaotic weekend, and I don't need to go into the details, but um, it's been rough. It's been a little difficult for me, and um, I don't generally talk to people about what goes on in my life. Um, very often just because don't I don't care for um opinions, and I don't want to have anybody's. I mean, it's not that I don't care about opinions. I don't care for unwarranted advice, and here I am giving everybody unwarranted advice with my show. But I don't know. I can't, it's not that I don't like advice. It's just that I've been through so many different scenarios that I found that the best way for me to get through difficult times is to kind of go inward and then take care of my controllables, like control my controllables. I can only take care of me in situations where I feel like everything is chaotic or out of my control. I can only really control me and my circumstances and how I show up in the world. And, you know, no amount of advice or um, talking about it really helps me to process what I need to do. And so I'm one of those people that don't really like to broadcast um my problems until like later when it's a part of my story. Um so that being said, I had a difficult weekend, and um I am learning to stay focused and anchor into my wellness foundations. That's something I'm actually very good at when things like this happen. I go for walks, I eat well, I um, drink my water, I read, I journal, do all of these things. But a new coping strategy that I've had is not turning to substance abuse. And that's been difficult. And there's been a few times that I have fallen off that wagon as of lately. And it's embarrassing, right? Because you come and you make a big deal out of everything and say, oh, I'm sober and I'm doing the thing and I'm getting through it. And everybody's like, yay, that's great. And then when you screw up, then what? Right? You have to kind of eat crow. And luckily, I haven't drank, but there's been a few times where um, I've smoked a few joints, there's been a few times, and not proud of it, but it always seems to derail me and put me um, back a little bit, and not in the way that, that I don't do what I'm supposed to do. It's in the way of um, mentally, and it just makes me feel bad about myself, right? And so I have to really lean into my relationship with God and um, humble myself and really take a good hard look at everything that's going on. And I tend to be a bit of a workaholic, so I do throw myself into my work, but this time's been particularly difficult for me to do that. And so the thing that's been keeping me above water has been just art and music and leaning into some of the things I love that I that bring me comfort. And I find myself that going to things that I used to do when I was a teenager, like listening to music and drawing or writing writing poetry or writing, journaling, those types of things, but not losing myself in the chaos has been difficult. So how does this apply to you, right? How does this apply to you, the listener? Well, we're in the second week of January here, and there's a lot of expectation and there's a lot of um, worldly it, there's a lot of worldly emphasis on um, renewal and changing and New Year's resolutions and all these sort of things. And rather than focusing on the renewal of yourself and doing things better, because that can be a lot of pressure, especially if you're going through challenges and walking through difficult times. I encourage you to take things one step at a time and um, to not put so much pressure on yourself in moments where things are difficult. Of course, to put the pressure on yourself to do the regular things and build your foundation, and making sure that you're eating whole foods and that you're exercising and that you're going for walks and that you are journaling and reading and doing these things that keep you busy so that you are not spiraling into the depths. And it's difficult for people to swallow their pride and actually work on things that are constructive rather than wallow in their sorrow, right? And so that becomes a way to re-identify who you are and anchor in and kind of take a perspective. But if you're in a point in your life where you're just so beyond that, and all you can do is just be, then try to consume content that is fruitful for your well-being. One of the things that really saved my life was motivational and inspirational content. It helped to rewire my brain. And whenever I'm in the depths and I'm not listening to like music, I'm listening to positive reinforcement so that I can learn how to think again. Because learning how to think again and using it, using my brain in a context of fruitfulness rather than to my detriment is very important. And life isn't straightforward, and there are lots of things that happen in this world that we don't have control over. And that sucks. It really sucks. And we are not able to really determine the future, if we have extenuating circumstances, and life can be hard. But that isn't a reason for you to give up, and that's not a reason for you to stop working on your dreams. And if you have a dream, work towards it. That's what's important. And if you want to get somewhere in this world, you're going to have to get uncomfortable. You're going to have to be in a place mentally where you're going to have to push past the difficulty. And unfortunately, my adult life has been much of that pushing past the difficulty. So I really truly understand the nuances when it comes to that. Some people have had really like chill lives and they don't have so much drama and trauma and chaos as those of us who have had to walk through some things and carry a heavy load. And so it's really easy for them to just say, oh, fuck your feelings and just do it anyways. And some days it doesn't, some days you're just not mentally able to say fuck your feelings or push past it, right? Some days you actually really need to sit with your feelings and document them and examine them and make a plan on how you can live the life that you want to live in a fruitful way. And back again, we're talking about anchoring in to your foundations. If you watch me, you hear me repeat the same thing over and over again. And the reason I repeat this is because it is these core foundations are how I have stayed sane, how I have stayed alive, how I have been able to keep my company going, how I've been able to thrive when chaos is ensuing. This is how I was able to quit my job. This is how I'm able to do what I need to do. And some days it's harder than others. We're in the second week of January, and there's all this expectation of you need to push out a new offer. You need to lose weight. You need to do all these things, right? You need to get in shape. You need to da 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 da. And it's noise. It's noise for those of us who are experiencing chaos or just difficulty in our lives. It doesn't have to be chaotic, but sometimes it is, and sometimes it's hectic. And sometimes there's things that you just simply can't explain or talk to people about or comfortable talking to people about. And so you need to journal it and you need to process it and you need to walk through it. I've been to multiple counselors. All the counselors I've ever been to have not really been that helpful. Some of them have been, but the most helpful thing that I've ever done for myself was to um, learn how to examine my thoughts and do the work by Byron Katie. Is that true? Are you absolutely certain this is true? If it's true, what does it mean? And who would I be without that thought? Examining your thoughts and asking those questions every time something comes up is extremely helpful. And for me, leaning into my faith and holding on to that when there's nothing else to hold on to. Because life is going to throw curveballs at you. Life is going to make you run through the mud sometimes. Not always. There's people out there who haven't had these experiences, but for those of you who have, just know that you will make it through. You just have to make a choice to make it through. You have to make a conscious, concerted effort to anchor in every day to your wellness foundations. And if you don't, then you're choosing to stay stuck in the mud. Just be stuck in the mud, not moving. The cement, you're basically stuck in cement and it's getting harder around you. And then you're stuck if you don't work on these foundations. It's very important. And I'm a business coach. I'm a digital media expert and I'm a life coach. People might ask me, why do you talk about these things if you're a business coach and if you do digital media? I talk about these things because your wellness and your mental health is your foundation of how your business will do. Because if your mental health isn't good and your health in general isn't good, your business is going to suffer. You might not even make it to creating your business because you have all of these things. You might have an idea, a dream in your head that you can't even get to because you're so busy sifting through the shit and you don't have a foundation structured enough to help you grow and help you do what you need to do. It's hard. Life's hard. Embrace it. Life's a shit show. Doesn't always have to be, but for some of us, it is. And for those of us who are walking through darkness and those of us who have difficult challenges arise, we have to anchor into something. We have to work on our foundations. We have to. That's how we survive. That's how we grow. That's how we continue to be able to grow our garden. So if you have not met your goals in the second week of January and you're feeling ashamed or confused or, like you're spinning your wheels and this year is not shaping up to be what you thought it would be, it's okay. Take heart. It's leading you exactly where you need to go. Because these difficult lessons that we learn in these moments that are so intense and chaotic, or just, you know, a low moment, these moments are the moments we'll remember along with the good moments, but it's also the lessons we learn. And it's what makes us stronger and have more emotional fortitude in order to continue going. Because this world is full of trials and triumph. And if we didn't have the trials, the triumph wouldn't be so sweet. So take heart, anchor in. If you can't do anything but one thing today, just do one thing. The only thing you can do is drink water, drink water. If the only thing you can do is go on a walk, go on a walk. But anchor in, build your foundation, because the more you build your foundation and the more you focus on what you do have control over, the more you will be strengthened in order to withstand the storm, and the more the foundation of what you're building will be strengthened, so that when storms come, you can just pick it right back up again. It doesn't have to be perfect. We don't have to be perfect. And that's my message today for you. It's very similar to the message I've given many times before, but I'm certain there's someone that needs to hear it today. You know, oftentimes I use my own lessons in order to give you a lesson. And my lesson today is just living one day at a time, one moment at a time, one task at a time. Sometimes it's all you can do. And I hope that whatever challenges and storms you're facing, that you have the strength to withstand them. Because the weather changes. It'll be windy one moment and beautiful, sunny the next. Just wait 5 minutes, then the weather will change. Sometimes it takes a season, but it will change. So hang in there. You got this. And if you're killing it and you're doing great for the New Year season, it's awesome. And I'm so glad that you have used your foundations to propel yourself. But even when your things are going good, don't forget to anchor in, because that is what's going to keep you strong when the storm does hit. All right, my friends, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time. If you want more of my musings, I do have Morning Anchor, my Telegram activation, where you get morning motivations, trainings, inspirations every day from me, God willing, most days from me, unless I'm enduring something. But that's something I'm working on, is showing up every day. So in this container, so I can help other people. Helping other people helps me, and that is my purpose. So if you want to join the container, shoot me a message. I would love to have you, or you can visit my website, www.morningmoondigital.com. And I will see you next time. Ciao.